Hello, Philip here. In this video, I will provide you the introduction to lifecycle functions of solid.js library. So, let's initialize our project. So you can do so by going into the description of this video and downloading the project. There is a zip file, unzip the file, open it in your coding editor, and in terminal or in PowerShell run npm install, and then run npm run dev. And this will run on localhost 3000. Alright, and you will go to your browsers and simply open localhost 3000, and here is application. Okay, so specifically in this video, I want to talk about lifecycle functions in solid.js, which are on mount and on cleanup. First of all, let's go to our code, go to src app.tsx. I will introduce here some code. We can comment these two things, or we can completely remove them. I'll just comment them out for now, and I will create here some simple components. You can follow me. Just write here div, will be wrapping div, we'll write here class, and this will be flexit, then with full background color, so BG blue, right here BG, it can be black, BG black, text white, and padding 10. And let me take a look at this. Okay, so we have something at here. Let's provide some height to it. Let's write height of 100. All right, nothing happened. Is this correct? Let me hover over. I think height 100 is not correct. 100 height dash, what is the maximum we can go? 96. All right, this will create this black bar here, and inside of this we'll create one component. Let's write here, let's create a component up here, const. And let's call this component hello world, or hi there, or hello world, doesn't matter. I cannot come with the better names for the components right now. So hello world is a components return some JSX, so return here JSX, and this smart component will display JSX of hello world. Pretty smart. And hello world will display here. So let's write here this hello world. Okay, provide you some background to this component so we can see it better. Class BG yellow 500. Oh, why there is no yellow? Okay, W like this, and let's write here width of 48. This should be 192 pixels. Yeah, okay, and displayed somewhere in the middle. So here I will write here align items or item center. I think item center like this, and it should be in the center. Perfect. So now we have a hello world component. Under this, we will display the second component, and this will be, let's say, a hi component. All right, and this will be hi there. Hi there. It can be different color. It can be, let's say, blue. Okay, and this will be hi component. Under hello world will be hi component. Perfect. Okay, so we have two components, hello world and hi there. Now, lifecycle functions. There are two. In a hello world, you can define on mount, provide a callback, on cleanup, provide a callback. Write your console logs, on mount or hello world component on mount called. Copy this console log, provide it to cleanup, and hello world component on cleanup. We don't need to component, just let's write here this hello world on mount code and on cleanup code. Copy this too, provide it to the hi component. All right, and just change the text here to hi component on mount and hi component on cleanup. Save it, go to the browser, refresh, see the console log. Or you can actually just right click here, inspect, or use the shortcut and see the console. Please refresh your browser, and you should see here hello world on mount called and hi component on mount called. So lifecycle functions are called on mount is called as soon as your component is instantiated, so rendered out on your screen. So it's rendered out, and hello world on mount is called. It's called first because it's provided first in the temp in here in the JSX. If I would reverse the order and I would have a first hi component and hello world, of course, the order will be reversed. Hi component on mount called first, and then hello world on mount called second. Why don't we see on cleanup function? Because we are not cleaning them up. They are still on the screen. they would be clean up if we would hide them, or we would destroy the instance of the component. Then they would then on cleanup would be called. That's why you just see on mount. So let's try to clean them up. Here in the app, I will create a button. Create here button like this. Let's call this button toggle. All right, and on toggle, I will put here some stylings, and the class here will be text white. And okay, padding 2 and BG gray, let's say 700. Okay, and here is a button toggle. Okay, I'll introduce here some value, which will say if the hello world is displayed or hidden. So I will create here a signal, because the signals are reactive values. So there are const. Let's write here square brackets, and let's write here create signal, and by default will be true. And create signal will say is hello displayed, and the second one is setter, set hello displayed, or set hello display. All right, like this. Okay, so by the default it's true. Now, both of these components I will wrap in the special component from solid.js called show. So let's write here show like this. This should be imported for you. If you go up here, it should be imported from solid.js. Now, to the show display hello world like this, copy the hello world, provide it inside of the show. All right, and to show, provide a when condition, and you want to show hello world component when is hello display is true. So is hello display is true, call it, because it's a getter, so you need to go to get a value, you need to call this. That's a when. You can format it is like this if you want. And there is a second option to show, second prop called fallback. Provide here fallback. I don't know why I don't see the fallback here, but it should be there. And it will be high component. Okay, something is wrong here, definitely. Did I? Oh, okay. I see my mistake here. These curly brackets, you see, I got it from when, and it should be like this. All right, now it's correct. So now we'll provide here fallback. Now it should be here, and to the fallback will be high component, and high component will display here. So now look at my brush tool here. Okay, and here. So show will display this hello world only when this condition here is true. Okay, if it's true, display this. As you see, create signal is by default true, so we'll display by default hello world. Okay, so that's what we should see in our on our browsers. When I will go here, I didn't save it. Save it. You can see only hello world is displayed. Now I want to toggle the value to the opposite value. So now the value of is hello display is true. I would like to toggle it to the false. So I will, when I will click on the button here, let me format it like this. When I will click on the button, I will write here on click, and when I will be clicking it, provide a callback function which will be called, and I will just simply get a set hello display, and I will set it to the opposite value of is hello display. So I will get it is hello display. I will call it to the get value, and I will flip it by writing exclamation mark in the front. So if the value is true, I will flip it and I will get a false, and I will set hello display to false. Flipping, like basically just if you have a true, write the exclamation mark in the front, you will get a false. False, true, and so on, so on. So I'm always flipping the value to get the current opposite value. All right, so this will get the opposite value. I will set it. So now when I will be clicking this, it should show one time hello world, other time high component. So when you will save this way, you will go to the browser and you will be toggling. Now you are displaying one time hello world, other time high there. Okay, and you can see also when you will refresh, first only hello world on mount is called, because we are displaying only hello world. So that's why on mount lifecycle is called. When I will toggle it, it will be destroyed. So on cleanup will be called, and on mount of high there will be called. So toggle, and you see it has been cleaned up, and high component has been called. When I will click it now second time, then you will see high components has been cleaned up, and hello world on mount called was rendered out again. So that's how it works. Those are two lifecycle functions, on mount and on cleanup. Perfect. So now we have an idea about them. And these functions are very beneficial when you want to initialize some data, when your component is about to render. So here to init, you can initialize data, subscribe to events, and so on and so on. Okay, so some initialization to do here, and here you can clean up the data. So unsubscribe, remove data if you need, so to remove something on cleanup, and so on and so on. So these two ones are, one is initialization, the other one is a cleanup. Addition to it, we have also one function we can register here. We will do it in app. It's called createEffect. CreateEffect like this. We'll provide again callback functions to it, and this createEffect will can react to the reactive data. So whenever some data will changes, createEffect will be executed. In example of our app, we can react to the changes of our is hello display, right? So if I will display here console log is hello display like this, from this point on, I am providing is hello display as a dependency to createEffect. So whenever a value of is hello display will be changed, we'll call this callback function. So now when I will save it like this, we can now remove or comment out these things, so you don't see, or we can leave them here. Or actually, let's remove them, because comment them out, the console will be too crowded by the data. So just comment them out for now. Save this and go back here, and I will be toggling. You can see now we are displaying all the time console log. So createEffect is executed. All right, so console log createEffect is called like this. All right, toggle, you can see createEffect is called because it has dependency which is changed, which is hello display. If I would remove this or comment it out, I will refresh. It's called only initially, and when I will be toggling, this will not change. Okay, we can also create, for example, counter how many times we are clicking on the button. So here I can write a const counter and set counter, which I will initialize to 0, create signal 0, and every time I will click at this button here on click, we can wrap it in a curly bracket, so we can provide more instructions here like this. I can provide on the 2 lines. All right, not here, like this, and here I will increase the counter. So set counter. I will get here current count counter. Call this because it's getter +1. Okay, and now I will console log here counter like this, and you will see as many times I will click, as many times createEffect will be called. I'll save it this way, refresh, and you can see now we have a simple counter. And this way we can react to the changes of a counter. So for example, if I will decide I want to have a side effect in my application, so for example, I'll write here if statement, and if a counter is larger than 10, I want to display here, let's say alert bingo. Okay, so we can create some side effects. We can also do some visual changes to our application. We can display some pop-ups or something we want to trigger whenever we will change the values. And yeah, so when I will save this, all right, and toggle 10 times, you can see 10th time it was it's bingo displayed. So here you have it, and of course you can provide more dependencies. So you can combine counter, and you can combine if is currently hello displayed. So I can write here if counter is larger than 10 and is hello display currently, then display bingo. Okay, so I can refresh and I will click it multiple times. Okay, and then we have bingo here and hello world is displayed. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing. We have our own mount, on cleanup, and createEffect to react to these reactive changes. Now, I would like to show you the other thing. If you later maybe, if you'll be working with Solid.js and you will create routing in your application, comment this out in your application. Also this div here, I showed you the show. This entire div you can comment out, and you can uncomment up routes. You can just remove this. I'll just copy the up routes and let's provide them under like this, so they are visible here. So you can display again your application as I showed you before. So if you will create routing, it's a common practice that every route or every page is a component. So here I'm on a home page, for example. When I will click on a login, I will be on login page, and login page is itself a component. So here, this will work exactly the same. Here in a screens folder, I have a home, and I can just anywhere else create here on mount. All right, and I will write here console log, and I will write here home displayed or home mounted. All right, and I will write here cleanup on a cleanup. Okay, and here will be similar console log, but will be home cleaned up. Cleaned up. I will copy these console logs. I will go, for example, to login screen. I will save this. Okay, I will import on mount. You can just hover over, so import from solid.js on cleanup, import from solid.js as well. Okay, and back to browser. Go to the home page, refresh here. You can see by the default we are going to home page, so home is mounted. When you will click on this link, I think this one here, this arrow. No, this is register screen. Go back. Home mounted. I will go, then this should be this screen. This is a bell button. Here you can see home cleaned up, and we should write here login mounted. Login and cleaned up. One more time. Clear it up, refresh, home mounted. Click here on this bell icon, home cleaned up, and login mounted. I will go now back, login cleaned up, and home mounted. So in the terms of when you will create maybe more complex application, you will have pages. That's the lifecycle functions you can use for initializing data, cleaning up the data as well. Everything works as exactly the same as I showed you in this example in app.tsx. You can create your effects and everything. All of these are exactly the same components. All right, so that's gonna be it. A little introduction to lifecycle functions and createEffect of solid.js. If you want to learn more, you want to create a complete application which works similar to Twitter with all of the functionalities as sending messages, responding to messages, authentication, and much more. Check the course in the description, or you can see already link on your screens. It's gonna be it from this video, and I hope to see you around in some of my other lectures or videos. Cheers.